Welcome to Racing to Win. It's all different this week because racing in Hong Kong is on Monday at Sha Tin with 11 races for Reunification Race Day. It's the same show, but the racing's just a day later. And to preview it all, Paul Alley, Tom Wood joins us. And Tom, what are some of the highlights?
Well, race number 6, Mark, is the Reunification Cup. It is a Class 2 race over 1,400 metres. Ortula Bagil lining up with Wonder Kid, who's been consistent. Supreme Lucky. Keefe finally returned to some winning form last time out. Superb Boy, Choo Chow Spirit, and gorgeous win with the lightweight. So I don't think there's too many in that race you can really write off.
No, we'll preview that race on the show also. What about jackpots, Paul?
Yeah, well, there's 2.2 million going into the triple trio, so that should get up the 5 million mark. And we put 1.5 million into race 11 last week. We're putting 2 million in this week into the last race. So very popular about that.
And
that's the Quartet First 4 merge, Paul.
Gee, you're generous.
There we go.
Yeah, power.
End of the season, Mark. We've got to look after everyone.
Not many first starters in, is there?
100,000.
That's coming up at Sha Tin. Before we get to the preview for the meeting, that man right there, he was the new man in town to start the season. He's had a terrific first stanza in Hong Kong, and Tom had an in-depth chat with Mark Newnham.
Prawns 11 sped away from Toronto Phantom and O-liner. Have a look at this Prawn. Prawns 11's going to win by a couple. Beat Toronto Phantom O-liner. Sing Dragon, getting everything out of him, and Sing Dragon, too good. Tactical Command, then came Cheer for South. It's still Colonel. Tactical Command is slowly getting there, and he will. Satanta coming 2-1. It's a race-to-race double for Ferraris and Mark Newnham. And Satanta, in a rich vein of form, takes the Pierce Memorial Challenge Cup.
March 2023, Mark, was when you were announced to come here to Hong Kong, and here we are with only 5 meetings remaining. What's sort of your thoughts on your first season as we get into the last few meetings?
Look, I think it's a pass mark. I've been happy with the final probably 4 or 5 months of the season, and that's how I had planned and hoped that it would turn out. It was always going to be a fairly steady start, but I think when you're starting a stable, you've got to get the processes in place first, with your staff and your horses and your routines. And then the rest flows from that. So if you build a good base of horses, staff and owners, it sets you up for the seasons coming.
Going back to arriving here in Hong Kong, was it a daunting process packing everything up in Sydney, and you developed yourself a name down there and you had plenty of nice horses? Was it a daunting process closing all of that and starting fresh again?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's never easy to start a stable from scratch, and even closing it was a little sad because I had owners that had been supporting me from the very start, and staff that had been with me from the very start. So saying goodbye to them and the horses, a little bit difficult, but look, once we landed here, the focus was get things started here, because it's one of those situations where we were comfortable in Sydney, so a new challenge coming here, and it's got to work because there's no business to go back to.
What was the toughest thing about making the move from Sydney to Hong Kong? Not necessarily just personally, but in terms of racing as well.
Oh, look, just getting used to the system here, where you've got a stable of horses that stay in work for the entire season. So you're not constantly having horses coming in and out of work like you do, in a stable elsewhere, and managing that process. We're used to having a system where you can run your horses when you want to run them, and scratch when you want to. So you have a run of drawing bad barriers. You can scratch any time you like, or you don't like the surface. It's raining. You can stay at home. Whereas in Hong Kong, once you enter, you're in. So, you've got to adjust your expectations around that and your tactics so that you get the best possible result.
What about, for want of a better word, second-hand horses, getting horses from other trainers at the beginning of the season? New trainers here in Hong Kong do tend to get a lot of those types of horses. What's the challenge in sort of changing the routine and bringing those horses on and trying to get them to perform again?
Yeah, well, really, you've got to work out why they're not performing. You know, is it simply a lack of ability, or are there other factors where, you know, you can make a change to just help them, you know, even if it's a length or two, it might mean the difference between winning a race for the season and not. So, you know, I tend to just start fresh with each horse and look at things that haven't been tried. You know, I had a little bit of success with a couple of horses, just even changing them from Sha Tin to Happy Valley, changing them from, you know, the turf to the all-weather, just, you know, giving them something different to do, and whether it's just a change in routine or the change of surface or venue, as long as you get a positive performance, you know you're on the right track.
Let's talk about the season overall. 28 winners, a double on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. Did you give yourself a number at the beginning of the season that you would have liked to have met?
I had 30 in my mind, so we're within reach now. I thought 30 would be a good number, considering the first month we only had 28 horses. So we started with a fairly small stable. I would say that next season we'll start with close to double that number. So, you know, if we're around that 28 to 30 mark, a similar number to what we started with, I thought that was probably an achievable goal.
What would you consider as one of your most satisfying training performances or moments throughout the course of your first season?
I think winning 3 races with Happy Hero, that gave me great pleasure.
The Small Fisher Suite?
Yeah, well look, he was our first winner here, and he arrived with not a lot to recommend him. 10 starts, I don't think he'd run closer than 8. So for him to be able to win 3 races for the season, that's, as a trainer, that's rewarding. You know, a good horse will always help you and make you look good, but horses that you know, don't have much to recommend them, don't have much form, you've really got to think hard to, you know, to get a good performance from them.
Have what you and your stable achieved this year and built given you a good impetus and foundation to build upon for next season?
Yeah, looking at the numbers, we've still got 20 horses there that haven't raced in Hong Kong, and we've probably got another 15 that have had less than 10 starts. So we've got young horses, horses that aren't overly exposed. So, you know, I think that sets us up well for next season and the season after. I've been patient with those new horses, and I think, you know, from my point of view, I've always had a training style like that, and, you know, I think coming here, that also allows you that luxury where the horse is able to mature, because they're coming here a little bit later than what they would in a Sydney stable. And, you know, we have an end of season, so they get a little bit of downtime. And looking at other stables previously, those horses that have shown some talent but haven't quite managed to win in their first year in Hong Kong, they tend to show good improvement their second season.
You mentioned some of those new horses. Is there one out of those new horses that you are particularly excited about for next season that you can share with us?
I like a horse called King of Dubai. I used my trainers syndicate to purchase him. He had a trial in Chung Fa behind Wonderbar the other day and trialled particularly well. He'll have another trial here next Tuesday, and then we'll put him away for next season.
Finally, as we approach the end of the season, what does one Mark Newnham do at the end of the off-season to relax and to kick back away from racing and freshen up for the new season?
Well, holidays are a little new to me, so it's it'll be a bit different. But we'll have 3 weeks off. We'll go back to Sydney and just see our son, see my mother and father, you know, catch up with some friends there, and then we'll go for a holiday and somewhere where it's warm. I can have a swim, recharge, because it's been a busy 12 months, and come back here in early August and set ourselves up for season 2.
Great chat, Tom, with Mark Newnham earlier on this day. Pass mark, Paul, for Marky saying there. being a bit modest, isn't he? 28's terrific for your first season.
Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he, for a first season trainer? And look, as he said, he's got all those unraced horses as well, so he's got plenty more to build on.
Yeah, well, he said in the interview 30 was what he's aiming for. He's very close to that now. I think he'll knock it off by the time we finish in another 5 meetings.
As we see his runners for Monday, Tom.
Yeah, Supersonic there, right honourable in Class 5. You've got Super Charizard, who's down the bottom of the handicap. Super Infinity, I think, is a big chance. Prawns 11, not the worst in a race where there only looks to be a couple of chances in an Irish import pool called Fortune Superstar.
Yeah, I don't know if he's quite ready, but look, Super Infinity sticks out there, doesn't he? I think he's going to be one of the... Well, he should be favourite in his race.
That is Mark Newnham and Tom earlier. We've heard all about trainers to start the show. Well, now it's time to talk about jockeys and horses because voting is open for the most popular horse and the most popular jockey. This is how to get involved.
Beauty Eternal gets his moment of glory in the Champions Mile. They are going to turn back time with California Spangle. Sha Tin is electric. It's golden 60 for Hong Kong, the superstar. Mugan and Flying Ace and Invincible Sage. Lucky Swainess is back top of the pops. Massive Sovereign and Dennership win the Derby. What a horse, and he wins it again. Romantic Warrior. And it's Victor, the winner in the Centenary Sprint Cup. Voyage Bubble, though, he is going to win the Stewards Cup. Andrea Atzani wins the Centenary Vase. Brenton Abdallah Eugenius. It's a race-to-race double for Bedell. CP Brave wins by a narrow margin. Terrific battle. Harry Bentley a double. It's Invincible Sage, and he ran on by for Bowman.
Congratulations to Angus. He has graduated from apprentice class.
Ching Ching Glory double for Lyle Hewitson.
The champion jockey of this year's Longji International Jockeys Championship is Vincent Ho.
Zach Burton and Dennership in a thrilling derby. And a salute from Karras. He went straight to the lead.
Welcome back to Racing to Win as we make our way through Sha Tin's meeting on Monday. The break's just been, Paul, so we could play the music for the speed map and the starters list early because it's very topical for your last run reminder.
Jazz Club, yeah, a girl from Ipanema or something. We could play something, but look, this horse has looked good in his last couple of runs. He seems to be improving all the time. Zach Burton's jumped aboard as well. Look, he wasn't too far away from the pace, and it was a fastly run race, this one. And you can see he couldn't get out the whole time. And once he got into the clear, I just like the way he stretched out nicely. So, look, he looks like he's a horse just about ready to win. And that last 100 metres was the best for him. So I think he can win. And we get a chance to see the head on as well. And Tom, as you can see on the inside there, the horse was blocked most of the way down the straight.
Yeah, didn't have too many favours in the straight here. This was race 732 for him behind, of course, Noble Win, who was swooped down the middle of the track. And Brenton Abdallah was riding this time round for Manfred Mann aboard Jazz Club. Of course, he's had a few trainers. He started off with Francis Louis, went to Peter Hover, 3 runs. He's had Manfred Mann this season, and he was a horse you probably tipped at a big price, so he is one of yours after all.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Look, I think he's ready to win, and he ran 4th at over 100 to 1 that time.
There it is. Race 2, number 9 for the Paul Lally Big Band Jazz Club for the last run reminder. We need to move on to the feature race. It is the Class 2 Hong Kong Reunification Cup. Meeting 84, 11 turf races, all on the B course, and racing gets underway at 4 o'clock. The race is race number 6 that we're looking at, Class 2 over the 1,400 metres, and here it is. Talabagil goes up £20 for the class drop. Flaming Rabbit's coming back in distance. Tomarachi Kokoro, he runs over 1,400 for the first time. He did win over that distance at Townsville. Wonder Kit's had 3 starts for 3 placings. Keefe was a winner last time. Superb Boy races well course and distance. Chu Chow Spirit comes up in grade for the first time. And gorgeous win, Paul. First time over 1,400 metres. Been racing and competing against very good horses. Just 118 pounds on his back.
Yeah, so he'll get his opportunity. The negative is the draw, though. So I think he might be just one place further back than he'd like to, because Tomodachi Kokoro, I think, will beat him to that position. Flaming Rabbit's the likely leader in the race. He likes to lead, and he'll be able to get an uncontested lead, I think. I think Superb Boy will sit on his haunches there, and Keithy, who was the last start winner, just in behind.
Tom's been busy today. He's been with Mark Newnham before the break. He's now with Sha Tin on Keefe.
Karis, Keefe returned to form when you jumped aboard last time out. Don't know if that was a coincidence or not, but it was a good performance overall. And what did you make of it in the end?
Yeah, Tom, he did lose his form a bit before his last start. You know, he's come down a lot in the rating too. So I thought his last time it was a very good win from him. You know, he did everything very well. He jumped and he put himself in the winning spot. And when I did press the button, he responded all the way through a line. So I thought it was a very gutsy win.
He peaked on a 100 rating, and we know what a good sort of 4-year-old year he'd had. Did he just sort of, you think, maybe just when he got up high in the ratings, just got a bit lost in the handicaps?
Yeah, well, it looks like it. He got up pretty quick, and he must have struggled a bit up there. So I think he dropped a few more points, and like I said, you know, he had no weight on his back last time, and he won a good race, and looking forward to riding him again.
Small field, we know it can be tactical. He's drawn gate 6. How do you sort of see it panning out? Because he did race up outside the leader last start.
Yeah, he's going to get himself again in a handy position. You know, he's got a decent draw, so I think there's a bit of speed in the race, so he's going to like that. You know, he's actually a natural horse. He put himself in a handy spot all the time, so yeah, it's going to ride him simple, and let's hope he gives us his best again.
You're flying of late, 12 winners across the last 10 meetings, a treble on Wednesday night, 82 wins. Your personal best is 93 with 5 meetings to go. Is that a tough ask, or do you think you've still got a bit of sort of ammo to fire late in the season?
Well, nothing is tough if you just put your mind to it, right? But you know, it is a hard thing to do, especially in Hong Kong. And you know, I'm just really thankful and grateful for all the support and how this season has gone. And you know, it's almost towards the end. I just want to make sure I just, you know, keep the same momentum, and you know, it's been a great season.
He's a man in form, is Sha Tin. He rides Keefe, who is going to race horses, Tom, such as Atella Begil, who ran 5th in the Lion Rock Trophy last time, but he's a 2-time winner over the 1,400.
So he's coming out of a race carrying a lightweight here in handicap conditions, of course, behind Galaxy Patch, and we know what he's been able to go on and do since. And he had a pretty good run in the trail. I thought pretty much had every chance. Might have been a little on the rich side, that sort of contest for him, but we know at his best, Paul, he's capable. He just has to shoulder a big weight, but he's a 2-time course and distance winner, and maybe not the worst here. Yeah,
I'm a bit like you, though. I think that he has to give weight to some of these up-and-coming type horses as well. So that was just a little query I had. But look, he's a very honest horse.
One horse which has been giving weight lately is Chu Chow Spirit. Not this week, Paul. Just 118 pounds for his first run in Class 2. Yeah,
so he's up in grade here, and he's got to do it in Class 2. Look, he gets back, he runs on. He has been a roarer in the past, this horse. Has had surgery as well. Look, he's been running pretty well in Class 3 without winning. This is a little bit harder for him.
Yeah, and obviously the roaring worries me a little bit as well. He's only won one race, and he was declared a roarer after that as well. And look, he stayed on well enough here, obviously eligible for something easier. Closing off here, but the widest of the field of 9 as well wasn't overly convincing for me.
On we go, Tom. A gorgeous win. He runs 3rd here behind a horse that is just absolutely unbeatable at the moment in co-partner Prance.
Yeah, winning again on Wednesday night to make it 6 in a row, and has done a fantastic job. And gorgeous win. He is eligible for something easier. He's been stranded on this rating of 80 for a few runs now. This will be his 5th run off 80. He tracked the winner, one off, loomed up at the 250, but just seemed to really appear to peak on his run late, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I've got to include him on a minor line. With the lightweight, I think he comes in well, but it's a tricky draw. I just think he's going to be one place further back than he would like. So, as you say, 80 can be a really hard rating in Hong Kong.
Oh, it's a very interesting race, isn't it, Paul? Who do you like?
Going to go with Superb Boy on top. I think he can sit just on the leader's horns. I'm going with a pace-orientated one here, so I thought Superb Boy can beat Flaming Rabbit, bouncing back. He has won over the 14 in the past. Supreme Lucky will need some luck from his barrier, and then gorgeous win. 7, 2, 5 and 9.
See what you did there with Flaming Rabbit bouncing back. With on top, though, Superb Boy, number 7, for Zach Purton and Francis Lloyd. 228 days since he has won a race, but really rallied strongly behind Keefe last time out. Was only headed late, so he's on top. He's £4 better off with him. Gorgeous Win goes in. Put in Keefe, but he hasn't strung 2 wins in a row together in the past. And Wonder Kit's hard to leave out the way. He's going at the moment. He's got £1 less to carry, and he's £5 better off with Keefe. 7, 9, 6 and 4.
We're not done just yet. Before we get to the best bets and the long shot, you can see the graphic behind the boys, Pierre and Francis Long. He's back, the worm graph. It's been a while, Tom. You can see they flirted. They got close. They've been mating for quite some time.
They have been. These 2 worms here on the screen, they've gone from 59 to 65. You want to add any more to that, Paul?
No, makes sense, this one. It just shows how close this is with these 2 horses.
Looks like India and England in the cricket, doesn't it? Now, here is the runners for Francis, and he's all smiles leading into Monday, Paul.
He is. Look, I'm loving vibes. Francis has got some good results with first starters. He's a first starter coming up here. I like Harold Wynn. He's coming out of some strong form race on that page. And on this page here, I just like Superb Boy. I've just tipped him. Devano, it looks a 2-horse race with him and Bottom Up together.
You can see really Francis starting to throw a lot of ammo at these last few meetings. Second, I don't think it's the worst in the last after a bit of a tough run last time out. Pierre's got Fortune Warrior down the straight, the good old stalwart Medic Elite. He's back. Gangnam Star dropping in grade. Moto Man, I think, is an interesting first starter. Super Bonus, the last start winner. Mr. Aladdin, Paul, he's one of yours. Fighting Machine, Roman Crown, a first starter into Quantum Patch. Probably prefer him at Happy Valley.
I wonder if we'll see Golden 60 making a surprise appearance at the last meeting.
It's that close.
If it comes to the crunch. All right, it's time to move on to the best bets, and you're going a full moon, Paul.
Yep, Bottom Up together for me. Just, well, half moon, really. I think this horse here can beat Devano. I think these are the 2 main chances, but I've been with this horse ever since his first trial, so he's one I do like. One at a price, and hopefully we'll get a price for him, is Solid Win. He's only had the 1 start. He was 30 to 1 on that day, on his debut. I don't think he'll be 30 to 1 this one, but I hope he starts about 8 or 9, and we can see him there last down the outside. Now, he's got an awkward draw once again, so he's going to have to go back, but he just really caught the eye finishing off strongly here. I'm sure I'm not the only one in Hong Kong that's seen this, though, and you can see him finishing off well. So a nice debut run for Solid Win, and we'll do the play in the last with Ching. I don't think he liked the wet track last time. Pray for Mur was good on debut, and Sunstrider has been consistent. 1, 9 and 10.
So he comes at 5 to 1 then. Super Infinity on top, race 9, number 3, Mark Newnham and Hugh Bowman combining here. This horse has drawn a couple of wide stalls in his 2 runs to date so far, but he's got a better draw this time round. I think he's a big chance here. Chased home Lopan Spirit in this race, who went straight and triple on the inside there, but was doing his best work late. It's Hugh Bowman as well. Riding, of course, Zach Purton sticking it with another runner in the race. Outside of that, the long shot, race 8, number 12, Fight Time, made some good ground last time out. David Hall and Brenton Abdallah. He needs a winner at the moment, does Brenton. And Fighting Machine, Super Infinity, Call Me Supreme, the play race number 9.
Going with Harold Wynn, who's only had the 2 starts. He's run 4th in both of them. Steps up to the 1,400 metres, draws 1. Francis Leandrea at Zany. Poor old Call Me Supreme has had 4 starts and raced wide in every one. He's drawn 10 and he's coming back in trip, but Ben Thompson can produce a ride on a decent priced horse, so hopefully he might be at least double figures. And the play, Telecom Dragon, Harold Wynn and Lucky Impact, who's on debut and hasn't trialled too bad. Race 5, 4, 6, 7 in a QQP. Now the diary, so it's different. Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Hong Kong Reunification Cup Monday, Happy Valley Thursday night, then Sha Tin on Saturday. It's going to be a busy Thursday, Friday, Saturday for a racing lover's dream in Hong Kong, Paul.
Will be.
Tom, you go first, Tom.
It will be busy. Paul, plenty of action coming up Happy Valley. Beauty Waves lining up there again.
Yeah, and Baby Crystal making a rare trip to Happy Valley as well.
All right, so the weekend off, you two make sure you're nice and relaxed for Monday, okay? There's 11 races.
I'm sure you will be.
Exactly right, and make sure you're nice and relaxed too, and we'll see you at Sha Tin for Hong Kong Reunification Race Day. We're getting towards the end of the season. First of 11 gets underway at 4 o'clock.